Turner from cookingwithkimberly.com, and tonight I'm going to show you a really cool cookie recipe. This is coconut plantain sweet potato breadcrumb cookies. Now, if you've never used breadcrumbs for cookies, you can. If you ever are stuck and you don't have anything else in the house, you don't have oatmeal or anything like that, you can use breadcrumbs. And tonight I'm using some really nice breadcrumbs that I've made from the sweet potato zwieback that I've made. Make sure you check out that recipe for that. But these guys are they're dried out buns, and I just buzz them up in my processor really fine. So I'm going to start off by mixing my dry ingredients together. So that's 2 cups of the sweet potato breadcrumbs. You can use any kind of breadcrumbs you like that's not, you know, herbed or anything like that. Just try and keep it plain and simple if you don't have something like that. All right, so I'm going to use 1 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour. You can sift it if you want, you don't have to. I'm kind of eyeballing tonight, so. I have about 1/3 cup of desiccated coconut. It's the sweetened kind, flaked. You can add more if you like. I just want a hint of the coconut in the cookies. All right, I'm going to use 1/4 teaspoon of salt. If you wanted to, you can add spices to this. I'm going to keep it kind of simple because I have a lot of different flavors here. Coconut, the sweet potato, and the plantain. So you could add, something that would go nice would be cinnamon, you could add ginger, you could even add some nutmeg. But I'm going plain and simple tonight. And 1 cup of brown sugar packed. Now I'm just going to stir this around and evenly combine everything. These drop cookies are done in an oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and my oven is preheating. Well, it's already heated now. I'm cooking some chicken and some other plantain side dish, so I figured I'd use the rest of my plantain for some cookies. These guys bake up pretty fast, and they're really simple to do. Now, you could add chocolate chips to this if you wanted. You could add dried fruit, some raisins, some dried apricots. Make sure you check out my other recipes for all different kinds of breadcrumb cookies. I will add some chia seeds tonight. I'm going to add a good 2 tablespoons worth of chia seeds. And mix that all through. Set this off to the side, and we're going to mix our wet ingredients. Get yourself another mixing bowl. Now I am going to just quickly beat up this egg, 1 large egg. Just get it nice and frothy and a little bit lighter in color. Now I have 1 very ripe plantain, and I'm going to mash it in here. Now I'm going to add 1/2 cup of milk. You could use buttermilk, that would work very well here. A teaspoon of vanilla extract. And 2/3 cup of oil. I have 1/2 peanut oil and 1/2 vegetable oil. You can use canola oil, you can use sunflower oil, whatever oil you like. I just suggest don't use olive oil. Okay, so that's 2/3 cup of oil. You're simply going to mix up the wet ingredients together so that they are combined. A whisk would likely make easier work of this. Now I'm going to mix 1/2 of the wet ingredients in with the dry. Trying to get some of those plantains in. And stir that through. And the rest of it. And just stir to combine. Now, it's a little bit moist right now, and that's fine. I'm going to let this sit for about 5 minutes while I get everything else organized with my meal. The breadcrumbs will have soaked up a lot of that liquid, and it'll be easier to scoop out for the drop cookies. You'll see me then. All right, I'm ready to go with these cookies, and they have soaked up a lot of that liquid that I was seeing, and that's beautiful. Now I'm going to use a tablespoon, about a heaping tablespoon, and I'm using parchment. You could use a silicone mat if you want, but I'm using parchment today. And I'm just going to drop cookies right like that. Very simple. I'll probably do a dozen per sheet. Try to keep them even. So these will bake for about 14 or 15 minutes, and you just want them to dry out a little bit and brown up some. Now these won't really spread, so you don't have to worry about that too much. So into the oven they go while I get my second batch ready. All right, my first batch of cookies is coming out, and I'm just grabbing myself a cooling rack so I can transfer them. Now, I looked at these guys at 15 minutes, and I decided to leave them in another 5 minutes just to crisp them up a little bit more. I wanted them a little bit browner. This is my basic breadcrumb cookie recipe, and it's always different whenever you put different kinds of ingredients in. So today we used plantains, which are sort of more moist, and it took a little bit longer, but that's okay. These guys are gorgeous. They're removing from the parchment easily, and let them cool on a cooling rack. So easy. So I can't try one yet because these are like molten lava, but I am going to get together the rest of my batch. Now these made 2 dozen plus probably another 6 maybe, and that's how we're gonna do it. So I'm gonna get my other batch ready. I'm just gonna move my parchment to a cold cookie sheet, because if you put the cookie batter on there, it's just gonna ooze everywhere. So use a cool. Now this recipe made a bit more than 2 dozen, and that's cool with me. I have my second batch in now. And my favorite part of cookies is the dough, and I've already tried this batter here, and it sure is nice. Boy, it's tasty, nice and sweet, really flavorful. So I got 2 dozen plus 4 cookies even after I snuck some dough. All right, my last 4 cookies are still in the oven. There'll be another 10 minutes, but I'm gonna finish these guys off with you. Boy, they look good. I'm gonna try one of these ones that I've already cooled. I've brought Mom a couple. Now these should crisp up a little bit more, and they will dry out slightly too as they cool off, because these could be quite chewy, especially since you've added that plantain. It's kind of like how when you add a banana to a cookie, it would make it a little bit more chewy. So depending upon how chewy you want it or non-chewy, bake it a little bit longer, make it a little bit extra crispy, and then let it dry out just a little longer to cool off completely. Don't they look so tasty? Now I've got my tea ready. And I'm gonna try one of these. So that's what these bad boys look like. They are a little bit rustic, which is what I like. They have nice brown bottom. They are nice and crispy on the outside and semi-chewy on the inside. They're crunchy on the outside. That's good. You'd swear there's butter in there. They're buttery. You can taste everything in there. A nice little subtle hint of coconut. The plantain is more pronounced. So nice and sweet. The sweet potato lent a nice sweetness, and the breadcrumbs helped crisp up that cookie too. Boy, that's good. Those little hits of chia seed give you a little extra nutrition and just a little bit of extra crunch. Those are great cookies. And that's how you do it. These are good. This will be a beautiful midnight snack tonight. Now they may not be the prettiest of all cookies, but when they taste like this, they don't have to be. That's a stellar cookie. And you can see a little bit of coconut in there. I hope you can see every little thing. So I hope you try these out. I hope you experiment with different flavors too. Make sure you come to my website and check out some ideas that I've made with breadcrumb cookies. And then you can follow that, or you can jump off and use some extra ingredients that you have on hand, all right? Or you enjoy. That's how you do it. That's how you bake coconut plantain sweet potato breadcrumb cookies. Fantastic. Follow me on Twitter at Cooking with Kim, E with the capital E. Like the fan page at facebook.com/cookingwithkimberly. My shows are on ifood.tv/cookingwithkimberly, youtube.com/cookingwithkimberly, and you can find me on Roku. Make sure you come to my website at cookingwithkimberly.com, subscribe and interact with us. Let us know what's going down in your culinary world. That's it. Be a champion in your kitchen and eat deliciously. Bye.